We are starting session one in the Yawning Portal. If you remember, this was right after one of Kag-Ro's big fight that everybody went to. This one was one. Everyone had access to backstage. The pie shop would be past its closing hours, so dinner in dessert time would have been long gone. You're looking at somewhere they don't really follow the hours per se, but it's around 8:39 p.m. The Yawning Portal is packed, so there's people everywhere. It's a very nice day. It was a very nice day, very warm. The end of spring, so everything is going great. The sun was out right now. Everyone can see a plethora of stars when they go outside. So it's been keeping the city busy. Tourism is at a peak, and the Yawning Portal is flooded with both residents and outsiders. You have adventurers that are paying a toll to Durnan as you're sitting and watching. Um, to go visit the Undermountain, he's turning more than half the people out and refusing their payment and telling them they can't go. That usually means he doesn't judge them as strong enough or anything, and people dying down there is bad business for him. Um, so he's just giving a look at that, and there's a bard that's playing on a small podium to one corner of the portal floor. Maybe a little rings on his competitive team, but he seems following under everywhere. Point as a wonderful. The first floor where the one of like floors in a corner or close to the bar. What would you be looking for in a table?
You were blurping out like really badly.
Okay, I wasn't
Yeah.
alone. Okay. Yeah, it was like speeding up what you were saying and smushing it all together at one point, and it was.
Yeah, it did that to me too. I'm not sure even why. My connection seems strong, so I thought that might have been a weak connection, but apparently not.
Odd. My thing is saying that everything is good. Am I still going in and out?
You're
No, right
fine
now.
now.
Sound good now.
It just some reason chose when you were giving the description to blurb
Ain't
it.
that how it always works? Sorry.
We're picking tables, yes?
Basically, yes. You're picking tables. Everything is very busy in the Yawning Portal. You gather the setting after Kag-Ro's win.
Well,
Yeah.
we should pick a corner table, obviously.
What was the name of the guy he won against? Or is it a match where there's a bunch of different people and he was just the guy who came out at the end? I don't know how this.
We'll call it the big. Well, there was a few people. We're not gonna name all of them. They always have like the newbies and the amateur. So he did a few rounds to kind of pump up the crowds, and then he would have gone against Blood Rain, which would be a very large, muscular tiefling, which may even have some orc blood somewhere in his ancestry, because he looks bigger than the norm. So he looks very demonic. And yeah, they went all out. The other guy, Blood Rain, would also be fairly known through Waterdeep, and it was very showy. So you have a corner table on the up floor. You're trying to stay away from the masses.
Well, in the end, I think it's up to Kag-Ro for this, for the most part. I believe we said last time that he kind of wanted some quiet, right?
Yes, that might have been mentioned at some point or another, but, this is right after a victory, so Kag-Ro will look over to the rest of the group, and I have to attend to my fans real quick. There's a table right over there. It's my favorite one. It's quite big, and it fits me well. It might be a little tall for the smaller folk, but I'll be back there in just a moment. I'll have some meals and ale delivered. What is it that you like to drink?
Well, I'm rather new to this, what surface drink may entail. Get something that you think I would like. Oh, and if they have any pie.
No, I will not order pie here. It is not the best in Waterdeep, after all. And he looks over to Cerise.
Who smiles really big at that.
Making sure to keep that discount.
A goblet of meat, if you would, sir.
Of course. I'll have a whole pitcher sent over for the table. That seems that Darius will have good time with it.
Oh, wonderful. I will have this. What was it you said? Mead?
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes, of course.
It's made of honey, you know.
Oh, yes, honey. What is honey?
Mostly bee spit.
It's delicious.
Yes, it certainly sounds that way.
Honey is made of flower nectar, and then they make mead out of that.
Don't worry, it is cooked, so there shouldn't be any bacterias in it. But anyway, I have to go see my
Honey.
fans.
Naturally antibacterial.
Do we have germ theory in Faerun?
Tiny animals living in our food. What are you talking about?
They're like plankton,
Oh, well, that makes sense.
right?
Yes, if you don't cook them, they make you sick.
But yeah, I do imagine that in Faerun and everything, they do have advanced doctors and medical researches as well as the arcane. So bacteria would be something they would
All right.
be aware of. I'm sure they use spells instead of bleach to get rid of them, though.
So Kag-Ro will nod to them, and he'll sort of put on his, show face. If you guys, we've known each other for about 6 months now, you guys would know there's a difference in his demeanor, that he changes, and he stands up taller and pushes out his chest and broadens his shoulders a bit to look more intimidating. And as he walks up, he'll walk over to one of the serving people. A pitcher or two of mead for my friends over there. Put it on my tab. And as for the rest, I believe you could bring some food if you whatever is the house special they might enjoy. And then you'll see him turn and smile to his people, and he'll say, in his unchained devil voice, "I am here. The unchained devil is victorious." And then sort of walk to the crowds.
You're gonna see a ton of people. The little bit of surrounding that was again around the bard will just leave, and his lute will play a sad twang, and they're gonna surround Kag-Ro, but it's away from the lot of you, so you're still able to talk in private and have no problem with it. You're on the second floor. You have a nice corner table. The bar is down one floor. You just have to access it through a very simple and large spiraling staircase, and everything seems to be good. Your floor is quite quiet, so you're able to have a decent conversation to a lot of you. You even are able to see, like, the corner is very close to the balcony, so you're just by the railing. You just have to kind of look down to see where Kag-Ro is at the base of that, close to the bar, as he's just signing autograph, shaking hands, showcasing all of his muscles, doing all the bumps while people swoon, touch, and there's, of course, several barbarians trying to do a lineup to challenge him to an arm wrestling contest and the likes. Um, Durnan seems very happy as he does this close to the bar. People keep ordering mug after mug after mug, so he's very pleased. What's everyone talking about up here?
I am talking about how excited I am to try this surface or alcohol, which I haven't really had before. I'm also, I know I went to the match, but I can't say if the other two did. So,
I think she said that we had.
in that
Yeah.
case, yeah, I would talk a bit about that. The difference between wrestling when there's no water, for one thing. How much more theatrical it was here. So on.
I don't know how you could wrestle underwater. It'd be really hard.
Well, it's a much more graceful display, I must say, relying as much on dexterity as strength.
It probably would have hit you as well. You were VIP, so you're close to the stage and everything. Um, the smell would be so very different. That might even be something uh, that, despite being on the surface for at least 6 months by now, would still require some adaptation. I have no idea if your taste would be common or if you would be opposite of most of the other people. You can easily make that call. But during the match, there would be a very strong scent of musk and sweat and salt, and it's in the Coliseum, open sky, so there would be a lot of kind of dirt flying. So it's like a mixture of all of that.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think it would be too offensive to his. It'd certainly be very different, but you know, imagine.
Yeah, not something that came to mind.
Yeah.
He'd have to learn how to bathe, because underwater you're like constantly bathing.
Well, I'll just jump in any water the first chance I have, anyway. Well, what did you two think of the match? It was certainly dusty there.
Oh, yeah, sure. Marla is fingering things in her pocket that she pulled out of other people's pockets at the match.
One of the things that I found most unusual was all of the costumes and pageantry. That along with the smells, for sure. And, well.
Yeah, they can get pretty stinky.
The city is usually, well, I don't mean to offend, but it doesn't always come off as the most, it's the best smelling place around. But the match, even, I suppose it's all the people dressed together, is it not?
Yeah, that'll do it.
So many distracted people.
Well, I imagine they would have their attention focused on the fight, would they not? Otherwise, why are they there? Odd thing to specify, however.
So as you're having this conversation and debating the match, how it happened, the victory, the ups, the downs, the cheering, the booing. Uh, the signature and the uproar downstairs calm, and Kag-Ro is able to return to the table.
Ah, Kag-Ro, back already.
Well, most of the fans have gotten their autographs, and now they're about they're a tankard or two deep in the mead. They're gonna start talking amongst themselves. Much easier to slip out that way. I can get this makeup off as well, making them a little less likely to see me, though. A Goliath such as myself is still quite obvious.
You must have very small hands. Would they be able to fit into a mead mug?
What?
Oh,
He said his fans were in the mead.
oh, no, that is a term we use on the surface to say that they have drank quite a bit.
Oh. I see. Therefore, they're quite bloated, I imagine, yes?
I don't think they care, but you're probably right. And he'll sort of pat you on the shoulder and sit down next to you on the larger chair, if there are a larger booth or chair wherever we are. And if the mead has been delivered, he'll take his own tankard of mead.
Yes, the maids and other service folk in the Yawning Portal would have brought you some mead, different drinks, platters of foods to try out. So you'll have things like chicken legs and other type of basically breaded, fried foods, some bread per se, freshly baked. So you have that all cut and served on a table so everyone can kind of pick at that. As you're talking, eating, drinking, the tone in the tavern seems to change all of a sudden. It becomes muted, and you hear an odd scratch, very quickly followed with the sound of um, what seems to be uh, shrieking and screaming. And most of that is coming from the level below.
I'm very quickly when I hear the sound. He had been pretty eager to be eating, but he'll pretty quickly jump up and run over to the balcony to see what's going on.
Kag-Ro will drink a bit of his mead and look over and, oh, it seems there's something going on. What is this? And he'll stand behind Darius, which he obviously towers over so he can just see out over him.
Marla also goes over to look.
Everyone who goes over to look will see that something fairly large with it comes with a pungent scent of sewers is crawling out of the well going to the Undermountain. Below, the patrons are even the big ones that were kind of trying to challenge Kag-Ro to an arm wrestling match um, were are starting to back up. A lot of them are like flipping over table and using them as shields. A lot of people are looking for weapons, though as most people in Waterdeep don't carry their weapons with them, very many of them don't have that. But given the access to the Undermountain, there is more than usually in the streets. So I'd say maybe a quarter of them have a short weapon that at hand, but they're still taking shelter. This creature is crawling out, and it seems to be surrounded with something little creatures that look. They're smaller than birds, bigger than flies. Um, they're just buzzing around him, and he seems to be kind of just waving around and roaring to get them out. And this is the creature that you're kind of seeing towering as it's pulling itself out of the well. With the
So is
small
it?
little things about. So, what does the group of you do when you see this from the second floor?
Uh, well, first off, I have to ask, can I make maybe a nature check to see if I recognize either of these creatures?
Absolutely. You can use the same nature check for both.
But that is what Kag-Ro was doing, is taking a look down and trying to see if he knew what they were. Might he have seen anything that looked like it? Since he tends to be in the wrestling organization, he was wondering if perhaps they were creepy creatures that wrestlers might have designed themselves after.
Okay. Jake, with that, you recognize the big one. Both of you do. That's a troll. You've seen them in cave very close to shores, so even swimming you would have surfaced and seen them. They're pretty vile, and they have, well, I wouldn't say they're the smartest of creature, but they tend to be very, very aggressive and usually territorial, though this is obviously not his territory, so him being out of place can put a bit of a question mark on them. You know they are incredibly strong and resistant. However, the little creatures around it to Darius would be a mystery. As for Kag-Ro, you recognize those little buggers. They've actually had swarmed the Colosseum on more than one occasion where you had to deal with them. Uh, just nighttime pests whenever the match would last too late. Those are sturges. You know they are annoying. In small amounts, they're not that threatening. But if they start to get a big swarm, they could actually put someone in the hospital or worse. They tend to latch to people and they drink your blood.
Oh,
And they're like big mosquitoes.
oh, well, I see a troll and I
Only
see...
creep.
Well, it looks like sturges, little bloodsuckers. We had to deal with them before. If we're going to do anything about them, we should try to avoid getting them to attach to us. They like to suck your blood until you're dry.
Well, what are they doing in here? And a troll, of all things.
Well, crawling out of the underground, obviously.
I thought it was supposed to be protected.
Apparently not very well. Would you like to protect it?
Well, I suppose we don't have much of a choice, do we?
Well, we could call the guards, you know.
That sounds like a good idea.
Also a good idea, yes. But it only takes one person to get the guards.
Is there a open window or some sort of window on the upper balcony that I can reach?
Yes, the floor, all the floors have several windows. They're not very big, but they are there with thick glasses, with a thick tainted glass, so it's not fully clear. What are you trying to do from the window?
He's gonna go to the window and he'll open it up if it's not open, and if there's people out there, he's going to shout as loud as he can, and he's gonna say, "Go get the guard! There's trolls in the yawning portal, and sturges as well. Make sure they have the proper materials." So I'm not sure if anyone's out there, but if they are, he will call for them.
You'll see from the people running away that perhaps they heard you. You're not entirely sure if they're gonna get City Watch, but there is a lot of them in the streets, so with your booming voice, it's possible some of them might even have heard. As you're doing this and things are progressing, looking down below, you'll notice that a few of the people better equipped are starting to take on the troll. More so, you'll see that Durnan, the barkeep and owner of the place, has holds a great sword. It has a little gleam to it. And he looks like this is about as daunting as taking out the trash, really. And he's just kind of twirling it over and holding it over his shoulder as he is walking about to enter the scene. Though he doesn't look like he's gonna swing right away. He's more observing.
Marla is moving around towards the back of the troll, like upstairs, where the troll won't be able to see her, and she's going to climb up on the banister and pull out her short bow because she can handle this.
Oh.
Can you do a stealth check, please?
Ooh.
You don't have the attention of the troll at all, or any of the people around you either.
Do you also need acrobatics or athletics for standing on the banister?
No, you're small. I think you would manage, though if you do try to do something that will be special from there, that would be different.
Well, I was going to shoot from up there.
Yeah, no, shooting is fine, though if you're about to do like a flip, a turn, jump from there and land on his head, then we'll talk.
Alright, then I'd like to go ahead and just try to hit him with my arrow while I'm up here and he's not paying attention.
Alright, so do your shot, and then everybody roll initiative.
Ooh.
That's a hit. Please roll damage. Were you aiming for a particular space on the troll? Probably the head?
I think the neck because it's squishy.
Okay.
I hate it when I roll the best initiative and I don't know what the heck I want to do.
Throw a pie. Her turn.
Always an option.
Somebody got bitten or pierced. Cerise, now that you see all this commotion, I don't know if you went to the banister to look down. What are you doing? How are you reacting to all of this?
Yeah, I had probably come along behind the others, and about the time that I saw it is when they started talking about what it was, because I was gonna ask, what is that thing? But, yes, if I see Marla shooting at it, I'm gonna go ahead.
Though?
Oh, did I? That's a good point. Do I
No.
see someone shooting?
Nope. The big creature has an arrow from somewhere, but it doesn't even dawn on you that's from Marla.
Alright. Well, I guess if people are attacking it, and I can tell that much, then I am going to try to throw my sacred flame at it. For a whole point of damage. Wow.
Woo!
And that's only if it doesn't succeed at dex throw. I don't assume trolls would be very dexterous, but yeah.
No, so it takes that and it leaves a little sparkle where it hit. Was there anything else you wanted to do? Does Cerise say anything? Does she move somewhere different, or is she staying by the balcony?
Um, yeah, Al, I think I'll stay here with the other two. I mean, they might move, but I'm just gonna stay here with them until such time as that happens.
All right, sounds good. Marla, how about you? Are you nicking another arrow?
Yes.
That is also a hit.
Sorry if that went through twice.
Oh, I only see it once. And so with that hit, your arrow goes, and you can see a splosh of more dark blood kind of pooling around the thing. The creature, the troll, doesn't seem to realize this is coming from you. It's trying to get rid of the little bitey creatures around him. Um, However, you are no longer hidden, and one of those little critters is actually going to fly at you.
Great.
So you will take 4 piercing damage. And as it does that, it kind of went directly from where skin is showing, so it usually tends to go for the face and neck. So just at your jaw level, there's a little... Well, you're small, so it would seem like the size of a bat to a full-grown human. Attached and hanging to your face by its beak, and you can kind of hear it, having that muffled sound like someone slurping on a straw, trying to drink your blood.
Gross.
That is gross. Icky poo.
Just
Do you
a
move
thirsty
to
one.
draw attention, maybe, or are you just like frozen?
Well, I don't think I can this turn, but my initial reaction would be to stab it with a dagger. But I already did my attack, so.
Okay, so you perfect. That sounds good. So you're kind of readying that you're about to try and do that.
Yes.
Kag-Ro, what do you do?
First, I wonder why it's called a blood rain sturge. Because that was the name of the person that I defeated in my match. And then he'll look over. Can he see Marla now with a thing attached to her?
Yes.
Little creature, leave the bigger little creature alone. You are just a pest, a fool, nothing of use. As he casts vicious mockery on the sturge that has attached itself to Marla.
All right.
I love that spell.
Let me check something.
I miss using it. I haven't used it in a long time, but it was always so
You're-
much fun.
Your time will come.
I don't think it scales with the level, does it?
Same as every other cantrip. The save doesn't, but damage increases, I think.
It's because
Does
some
it?
of these things require the target sometimes to have a certain level of intelligence, but vicious mockery doesn't.
Your words bite so deep even a mindless animal can feels the pain of it.
That matches the DC.
When I tie, I'm just gonna re-roll it.
And it's just
So
being
it
like,
doesn't-
shame on you. Sorry, go ahead.
It doesn't seem to be suffering from the insult that much. However, now that you have grabbed the attention of one of its fellow instead, and one of them seems to be charging towards you, you still had movement, and I don't know if you want to talk or have bonus actions. Is there anything else you wish to do first?
Can my flail be used as my bonus action yet?
No. To use your other end of your flail, you have to use a weapon attack first.
How far down is it from where we are?
Are you talking jump-wise? Because you're looking at about 20 feet. Like to the ground below.
That's a really tall tavern. Okay. Then I suppose he will take a move to... Oh. Well, I suppose that we're going to have to do something about this. At least until the guard gets here. Those little pests are going to start killing people soon if we're not quick. And then he'll start running off. He'll run towards toward down the stairs to get down to where the creatures are for the most part. And stop wherever his movement maximum is.
Going around, you get about to the base of the stairs.
And that ends my turn.
It's just as you're kind of showcasing yourself, as you're flexing your muscles, it kind of times with how the little sturge tries to run at you, and it just kind of ends up bouncing off your flexing muscles and seems a little bit dazed as it's hovering less than 5 feet away from you. The troll is actually going to use both of its actions on this turn to remove some of the sturges away from him. So those little bloated creatures are now no longer attached to him. He doesn't have to make an attack roll for that. He just basically grabbed them and tossed them off. And they are flying once more. Darius, how are you reacting to all of this?
Well, first thing is I'm going to draw my short sword, and the first thing I need to ask is what is closer, the stairs or a sturge?
There are a few sturges that are closer. They're not 5 feet away from you, unless you were to run to Marla, because you could reach that one.
The one attached to my face?
Yeah, I'm not gonna swing a sword at Marla's face, but the other nearby sturges, I will I'll find the nearest one and rush towards it, sword drawn, intent to bisect it.
Okay, you'd have to, if you ran to the stairs close by, the one next to Kag-Ro could be reached that way. The one that's kind of dazed because it bounced into him. So that one could be reached.
Ah, yes, I'll go for that one. Part of my intention is to follow Kag-Ro down.
Alright, because otherwise you'd have to kind of jump over the balcony and swing midair.
I mean, is there a chandelier? I'll save that for later. Never mind.
There is. That's not much easier.
Hang
At
on.
least you're
actually.
a little guy.
Is the chandelier over the troll?
Yes.
This turn, I'm still gonna go for the Sturge near Kag-Ro, but yeah, that might change my next course of action.
Maybe a bit much of an acrobatics for a level 1 adventure. I understand.
True, but something to keep in mind.
Roll your attack.
I imagine that misses.
Yes, it does. It misses. You'll see that despite the days seeing you arrive and swing, it just does a little loop and avoids your sword entirely.
Alright, that is my turn for now then.
One of them will do not much. For the rest, several of them are flying about. One more will go. Will join. Actually, two will join the fray between you and Kag-Ro, one each. Kag-Ro does a 16 hit, and Darius does a 22. Well, a 22 probably.
Yeah, if I was wearing my armor, 22 would hit.
Yes, it does hit.
I don't think you can see it. I don't know why it's whispering the damage. You take Kag-Ro, you take 7 piercing damage. Darius, you take 5. Both of you have a Sturge attack and gulping, so that's part of the damage as well. So they're taking some of your blood. With 7 damage, Kag-Ro, I'm guessing that this one was very lucky and got right into an artery, and you can see like a little trickle of blood starting to pool over like the side of your neck and onto your chest. Away from all of you, you hear a few more squeals coming from behind the flipped and toppled over tables. The adventurers that were joining in for the troll actually will go and aim for some of those sturges. Let's see if any of them, none of them were useful. And we're back to Cerise.
Alright, well, I'm seeing people I was standing there getting munched on now, so the troll does not seem to be the immediate threat. I'm going to throw Sacred Flame at Kag-Ro's a big guy. I probably would assume that he could take it more, but Darius is little. Of course, I guess they said I saw Marla too. Alright,
Yes.
I'm gonna first try to throw it at the one on Marla's face. Oh, that's actually decent damage if it works, but I guess it probably has high dex, but we'll see.
No, you actually zap it. Almost looks like those little bug zapping machine. Just gives a quick jolt, and it falls dried up from Marla's face. Was there anything else you wish to say, or movement you wish to take?
Yeah, I think if they're starting to come closer to where I was standing, I'm gonna try to back up and see if there's an area where they haven't gone yet, or maybe I can, Like, hide under the table we were sitting at or something? I don't know.
You could do this, and with the table close to the railing, you could still somewhat see overboard. The table would be about maybe 2-3 feet away from the railings. It would even be possible for you to drag it to the railings to have both covers and sight.
Alright, that sounds good.
Marla, before you could stab it, Cerise seemed to have come to the rescue. You have a couple others, but they're not really in reach, um, that are flying up. They're not directly after you, not at this point. So what are you doing?
First, screaming excitedly that the thing is out of my face. Um, how far away from me is the troll?
Let me check its exact height. Okay, because if I go, the troll's about 10, still partly in the well, so it's about 9 feet tall, so about 10, 11 feet from you. Put it closer to 12 because you're also climbed up on the railing. And it's about at a distance, so I'm not that great at math diagonally. It's about 15 feet away from you.
And the nearest sturge is somewhere between us, I'm guessing?
That would be correct.
And the troll still has sturges on it?
Only has one left.
Alright, I'm gonna jump off this railing and try to land on the troll, or at least near the troll, and hope I don't fall in a giant.
Alright, that's gonna be an acrobatics. Are you trying to land on your feet? Or are you trying to do like a stab to hold yourself?
I will stab to hold myself.
Then roll both an attack and an acrobatics.
Oh, wow.
I
Nope,
did
not
it.
with your short.
Look at you.
Not- Yeah, but not with your short bow. Or are you like more doing like a grapple around snack with the short bow?
I did not attack properly, but I did jump.
Well, you know.
So what happens is you go and you kind of jump to get on the troll. The troll sees you, dodges, but with this acrobatics, you jumped at a bit of an angle. You kind of manage to twist yourself, twirl in the air. You land on the railing of the staircase, and you kind of do a surf down on it until you're able to reach, and you reach right at the feet of the troll. There's a couple of sturges around there, and you're close to both Kag-Ro and Darius at this point.
I'll take it.
You'll see that Durnan has some kind of impressed look on his face because that was very dexterous to do, and it's almost like a really great way to updo adversity. Kag-Ro, little Marla just kind of slid right past you and landed at your feet. You have a thing on your face, or well, on your neck, where close to where your collarbone is. It hurts. It's bleeding. What do you do?
He sort of wobbles and wobbles like he's dizzy and looks around. Why is the room spinning? And where are the stars coming from? And then he'll sort of be like, oh, I'm bleeding. That is not good. And then he'll sort of stumble back almost like drunkenly, and he'll he'll sort of start talking in a magical language. Must hold on. And then he casts heroism on himself. A moment later, he seems like he might be recovering just a bit, and sort of stands back up. All right, I think I'm okay.
Don't want to burst your bubble, but I don't think you can do a self cast.
Says any creature.
Can't you?
Willing creature. Doesn't say anyone but you. I have spells that say anyone but you.
Okay. Then yeah, sure. You will allow that. You gain temporary hit point. What's your spell casting ability modifier?
It's 3.
So you gain 3 temporary hit points. Now you still have one on you, which means you will lose 1d4 plus 3.
Nope, I'm dead. No matter what you do, I'm dead. No, I don't. That's 5 total. Higher chance that I'm gonna fail. See? And with that, Kag-Ro sort of wobbles for a second. Nope, not doing so well. And then he falls out and hits the ground unconscious.
Oh no. Now Cerise feels bad for thinking he was doing okay.
And you'll see this big, very inflated scourge stuck on the body of Kag-Ro. It actually grabs the attention of a lot of things, as a man this size would fall with quite the thump. People would be little shocked that he went down this quickly and easily, and it puts questions in a few people's minds. But other than that, they are very quickly distracted again as the big troll nearby is gonna roar very loudly. And it's gonna remove the last scourge from himself and let it loose onto the crowd. And then it's actually gonna go either for Darius 1 or Marla 2. Marla, it is.
Oh, thank God. Sorry, Marla.
Oh dear.
Oof, it's gonna swing one of its massive claw, having seen you just bypass it and trying to jump on him, armed as you are. It's angered, completely blood-raged. It's seeing through pieces of he's bleeding dark all over his skin. You can see he's actually a little damaged with all of these bugs. But regardless, he's just going for it. And he's gonna swing and hit you for 10 slashing damage, leaving a pretty big gash on you.
Marla not only takes a giant gash, but she falls where she's at.
I was going to say 10. You probably don't have a lot more than.
I have way less than 10.
Oh dear.
Gab may have had the right idea by hiding under a table.
Oh dear.
There's no table that fits me.
And on top of that, you had the damage from the previous scourge too. Darius, the people next to you, both of them are now on the ground unconscious in a pretty dire situation.
Well, as far as I can see, uh, the troll is at least maybe not paying any attention to Marla anymore, but I think the sturge needs off Kag-Ro first, so I'm gonna swing at it. Fortunately, my aim is poor.
Yes, and you're missing completely. So you were trying to get one of the flying sturge about.
Get the one off Kag-Ro, to be specific.
Okay. Oh, so you were swinging with your sword. You also have the option, take an action, and just move it. There's no roll for that.
Oh, I didn't know that you could just pull it off. In that case, yeah, that's what I plan on doing instead.
All right.
I'll pry the sturge off of Kag-Ro's neck and chuck it off somewhere.
Sounds good. You're gonna see Durnan kind of just pull the great sword off the shoulder and kind of roll them around. Welp, guess it's time to help. And he's gonna go next to Marla, pull the sturge off of her, and let it go. Because lots of you can't really pull it off and squish it at the same time. You'd have to kind of smack somebody for that. And then he's gonna start to swing at some of those things around as well.
You can't do that. If it's an action to pull it off, you can't swing the sword afterwards. Doesn't matter. Attacks have to be a single attack. But okay.
I'm not sure what. And then takes out one of the sturges. He actually doesn't even bother with the sharp edge of his sword, and he's smashing them, using it almost like a fly swatter. So one of them goes down. Alright, so with the people around, I'm gonna do Darius, you are 1, Jordan is 2, the troll is 3. So there's 4 sturges by you, the rest are actually bothering the patrons.
This is probably one of the things that I shouldn't say, but the sturge was on me, not on Marla.
I thought you removed the one that was on you.
I removed the one from Kag-Ro.
Right, you removed the one from unconscious. Okay, so 3 of them are gonna attack, the other one is an instant. Because there was one on Marla as well.
Didn't notice it.
Where did my
Oh
second
no,
one
you're
come
right.
from?
The troll killed her. You're right. So you don't have one on you anymore. Sorry, my bad. Thank you.
The 4 is for me, right?
Ignore the D4. You were right. That was the one on you, but Durnan took it off of you. He took the one remaining from you guys.
Alright.
No, you are 1, so you're gonna get attacked. Once Durnan gets attacked once, and the troll gets 2 sturges after him. Does a 15 hit you?
It does, yeah.
So you take 6 piercing damage, and you've got one on you once more. The other one misses Durnan, and one of them latches on to the troll, who will roar very loudly. You hear one more squeal coming from the patron's side. Let's see if the other adventurers trying to help the rest of the patrons are going to be more useful. Two more Sturges are taken out. Cerise, it is your turn.
Alright, so apparently Marla is nearer me now?
No, she's now at
No.
the base of the stairs with Darius and Kag-Ro, both of which you can now see through the railing as unconscious.
I guess I didn't. I guess I somehow missed when they went down the. Didn't realize that Darius and Kag-Ro had both gone down the stairs. Crap. Everybody's a million miles away now.
And from your vantage points, the bugs don't seem to be very much after you. You're under a table on the second floor where most of the action is not, and you haven't really done for the one that's now dead, so it doesn't attract that much attention.
Yeah, all my stupid things I can help with are touch spells, though, so I'm gonna have to go down there. My kingdom for a ranged healing spell.
You might see that there is a thing hanging off of Darius's face.
Okay.
So once you reach the bottom of the stairs and you run there, what does Cerise do?
Alright, yeah, I think I'm gonna go down there of Marla and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. You're able to kneel next to her body. You kind of have to reach through the gate because going around would be too much movement, but you're able to pass your hands through and touch her. Do 5 health. Marla, you'll feel a warmth, then you're able to gasp and come back into consciousness.
That hurt.
You can see like 3 big gash going across your chest, like from the shoulder down, starting to close slowly. There's still the big troll roaring. You're still lying down on your back. There's a few bugs swarming above you, but they don't seem to have their attention on you at this point. And it is your turn.
So the troll thinks I am dead.
Well, he doesn't seem to pay attention to you anymore. He thought so, and he hasn't seen you get healed yet.
Can I crawl away without drawing attention to myself?
Stealth, please.
I cannot.
You start to crawl, and it becomes apparent that you're leaving a nice little trace of your own blood as you're doing so. And the smell seems to be attracting the attention not of the troll, but of the flying creatures. You can still get up if you do so right after you realize you can't. move, like if you just move 5 feet. Otherwise, you can stay on the ground or finish your movement. It's really entirely up to you.
I think I'll go ahead and stand up, so that I'm at least in fighting condition here.
All right. If you're standing up, you are only 5 feet away from where you were, which means a lot of things are in your reach. So you've only used movements and no action yet.
All right, so let's go ahead and stab at one of the sturges then.
Go for it. That definitely hits. And you realize those things are very squishy and easily killed. You slice it into an almost martial art matter. It's a very clean cut, and they fall onto the ground.
Jerk, take that.
Kag-Ro, could you do a death save for me, please? That's one failure. The troll now has 4 people it sees. Let's see. I'm gonna go in the order you are at for the turntable. That means Cerise, as you were healing, your bright light coming from your hand kind of gleamed in his eyes, and he turns to you.
Oh dear.
And you just see 2 giant hands go your way with its multi-attack. One fails miserably as you're behind the railing, but the other one with a 16, does that hit you?
Let me see.
It says you have 18 AC.
I'm not sure if the 18 is if I was wearing a lot of armor though. J. Kel.
Yes, I didn't ask before and just assume you went to the yawning portal in your armor. If you want to make it different, that's okay. Yawning portal tends to have more armor people because of the Undermountain and the fact that some creatures sometimes crawl out of there, as you can see.
Oh, like I guess if we were warned ahead of time that something could happen, then I might have worn it. I thought we were just having a grand old time in a safe place, maybe not. Then again, this is water. Walk around armored all the time.
Yeah, it would be awkward, but it is common practice at the yawning portal for that reason.
Alright.
Not everybody does, so but that would be easily explained why you would have it. In that case, you feel a pressure and a grating. It makes a little mark kind of thing on your armor, but it's very aesthetic. Other than that, you find yourself unscathed.
Alright.
Darius, you have you have a little bit of blood trickling down here and there, and it is now your turn.
Well, the first thing that I'm going to do is pull the sturge off my face.
All right,
Sorry, go on.
that is an action.
Yeah, I figured. So it's also the only thing I'm doing. Actually, let me check one thing. Yeah, that's also an action. So that is my turn.
All right, you also have movements if you wanted, but that's entirely up to you.
No backing down, no surrender.
Sounds good. But at least there isn't anything that will have an automatic hit on the next go.
Indeed.
Durnan is gonna You have 3 close to you, 2 flying, 1 on the troll. He's gonna try to get the last 2 flying. Apparently isn't much help. I'm still gonna go in order, so of the 3 of you, 4 being the troll, I'm not gonna, actually I need a d6. So 1 is Cerise, 2 is Marla, 3 is Darius, 4 is Durnan, 5 and 6 will be the troll. So apparently, Marla, your scent of blood that you've been kind of pressing on the ground has attracted a lot of attention. Two of them just completely miss you, but then the last one latches onto you and does 6 piercing damage.
Not again.
Marla screams and falls on the floor again.
From behind the table, you just hear someone call for a healer. Another adventurer seems to be joining in. Apparently, some of the patrons are also down. Okay. One of the adventurers seems to have that taken care of, and then joins in and goes for the troll. So one more Sturge is out. There's only the ones left around you at the moment. And the troll takes 4 damage. Cerise, it is your turn.
Alright, so watching Marla go down again after she just got her up, Cerise is going. Probably none of you have ever seen her like this because, like, there's not really any reason to. You're a happy little pie shop owner, but she whirls around and looks at everybody like in the immediate area furiously, and she's like, "Somebody do something! We need a healer!"
As you scream this, you're gonna see 2 of the barmaids come from a back door behind the bar, and they're gonna throw themselves on their knees, one next to Kag-Ro, one next to Marla, and stabilize the both of them.
Is there still a Sturge on Jake's face, or Darius's face, or did he get it off? I can't remember.
I pulled it off.
No, it's off. Marla still has one. Had one, however, the barmaid would have taken that off as part of stabilizing her. So they're all flying.
Darius, you were near Marla, right?
Yes, I was near both Marla and Kag-Ro,
Alright.
so I assume
At
we're
least
all
there's barmaids on the other 2, so I'm gonna reach out and grab your arm, and call upon Yondalla to heal you as well. That's not much, I'm sorry.
It's a lot more than one, which is what I was sitting at.
Yondalla, preserve us!
Thank you,
One,
my
ouch.
diminutive friend.
You feel the healing of the great halfling god warm you up, and it also gives you like a sensation of being sated, like you just ate something good. So you're feeling extra good, despite the fact that it doesn't give you additional health. Uh, it's like a little uh, side to say what kind of god they are, and you feel a little bit better. Next, it would be Marla. I'm gonna homebrew a little rule here to do this kind of like a second win thing. So, Marla, roll a death save, despite the fact that you're not unstabilized. If you succeed, regain 1 HP. Okay. So right now you are still unconscious, and the barmaid is kind of trying to continue to heal you manually. Kag-Ro, do the same thing, please. It seems those barmaids still have to work a little bit on their skills. The both of you remain unconscious for the time being, which means Cerise 1, Darius 2, Durnan 3. The troll has its eyes on the lot of you. Actually, 4 will be one of the patrons.
His sacrifice will be remembered. For the rest of this session, at least.
Yeah, you see the adventurer that had kind of charged in as well. He's just gonna fly, land into a table that's gonna break into in the middle, and that patron is completely unconscious.
It is my turn now, yeah?
Correct.
I would like to kneel down and lay my hands upon Kag-Ro, and I know that he's a surface dweller, but I ask Persana to refill his veins with glorious life-giving blood.
Okay, and how much health are you giving him from your pool?
5, that's all I can do.
Kag-Ro, you feel a breath of life come back, and you regain sudden consciousness.
Wait, where's the guy? Oh, oh, oh. Hello. Whoa.
Careful, careful. You're still. Don't move too fast.
I wasn't planning to. And he looks around, sort of trying to figure out what's going on.
As you're looking around, you're gonna see Durnan try again, as he's just aiming for the flying gritters. He misses one, but managed to smush one with the flat of his sword. You're not up yet, so you're not necessarily the subject of its attention, which means Cerise is 1, Darius is 2, Durnan is 3, and 4 will be the troll. So both Sturges, as the troll is swinging wildly, seems to have their attention on the fiend. And just kind of the way it had with you, Kag-Ro, it seems to get in one of the artery close to the base of the neck, and it just plunges and it makes like a splatter of black blood. And it remains attached there. Cerise, it's up to you.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out whether to attack or whether to heal. Or, well, I've used both my cure wounds that I have, but
Take him out.
Yes, end the troll with your rolling pin.
I'm more worried about the Sturges.
Rolling pin sounds like a good little beastie smusher.
Well, that's true. How many Sturges are left flying around us right in this immediate one? Is it
One. The
just
other one is attached to the troll.
Alright. I'm gonna go for it. Where are those guards? And I'm gonna take my rolling pin off of my waist and lunge up and try to whack the last Sturge. I don't think that's good. But I don't know for sure.
It's just enough. So roll your damage.
Yay. Bonk.
So there's no more Sturges flying around. Marla, do another death save to see if you regain 1 HP in consciousness.
Yes, I do.
Oof.
You were in a really bad place, so they're not succeeding at regaining you. On the upside, I'm really happy those aren't actual death saves. Kag-Ro, you are prone, and you just saw Cerise take the flying bits. You don't see little creatures that took your blood so much flying about. But there's still a roaring troll that looks to be in a worse and worse condition about, and he has one of those little critters on him. Getting up from prone for the way I play it, by the way, I use the rule that says it uses half your movement.
He's actually not going to do that this time. But first, in the order he's going to do it, is he's going to grab Darius by the arm, and he'll say, "You are a good, strong man. My friend, do well. Defeat them with your mighty sword and blow. Your god is with you." And he will cast Bardic Inspiration on him, and then kind of like flop back down, trying to catch his breath.
Isn't that bonus actually?
Yes, it is actually. So then I guess he'll roll back over. So as he does that, he's going to roll back over and then look at the Sturge that's on the troll. So I hope you die, you bastard. And then he's gonna cast Vicious Mockery. He'll cast Vicious Mockery. Oh, look at that! He does die. Oh, ow.
Yeah, you just see the critter on there. You don't even know why, because it doesn't understand you. But whatever you did, you pumped it up, and it's gone on overdrive. It pumps additional blood. It just does so. And it's like one too much, so it looks like a balloon that you put too much air or water and just pops and dies.
I told you it was messy. Ow.
But now that you've spoken, you are also in the sight of this creature, which means Cerise is 1, you are 2, Darius is 3, and Durnan is 4. So from your little hurt point, it's gonna go over the stair railing, take a step forward, swing both hands your way. A 16 hit?
Yes, of course it does.
Say no. Ah.
And you are knocked back unconscious. You'll see a big searing claw that goes from one shoulder down
Okay.
and just do a mark that matches Marla's.
Next time everyone gets up, we're getting the heck out of here. We gotta go hide in the kitchen or.
Now was my time to shine.
It is your
guide my
turn.
blade.
But yes, as Kag-Ro goes out, he's like, ow, ow, oh!
I shall avenge my fallen comrades. Or unconscious comrades at very least. Or I shan't. Actually, do get that bardic inspiration.
Yes, you do get your bardic inspiration. Which is a d6. And you still missed. It still would miss.
Durnan taking all the good attack rolls. Which is fine, because at least he's doing something.
He goes forward and misses kind of just barely. You can see as he tries to swing, he kind of gets up. The bone in the creature's elbow doesn't do anything. But the next bit, he goes right for the legs and slices the tendon at the back of the creature's knees, who starts to wobble. It's barely standing up, but it's still up. Which makes it Cerise's turn.
Alright, again, frantically, she's like, we have to get out of here! Lean down and grab a hold of Marla again. And let me find my thing. She'll grab hold of Marla and say a quiet prayer. Please, Yondalla, spare this fallen.
Oh, she's already stabilized, so you do not need to do that.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought you were saying they weren't able to stabilize her. Oh.
No, the bar keeps have them stabilized, but they can give them an additional 1 health point if they get a save over 10. It's like a little bit of a homebrew that I'm adding
In that case, I reach down, grab a hold of her, and try to drag her the hell away from this, like, area. Like, as far as I can in a turn.
Strength check, please.
Alright.
With that, you are able to use your full movement, so you're able to drag her a whole 30 feet, which can be behind the bar or even in the kitchen.
There, let's do that. As long as this barmaid's hopefully coming with me.
The barkeeps that was taking care of Marla and the one taking care of Kag-Ro are now following you, and they will try to keep on healing her. Marla, being your turn, do 2 death saves, given you have 2 people tending to you.
Oh dear.
And there it is. You regain 1 health point, and slowly but surely, blur comes back to your eyes and you're able to regain consciousness.
Oh, thank Yondalla. Mrs. Peddleknickers would have never forgiven me.
What are you doing? Unhand.
Oh, sorry. I'll let go of.
Given they've been doing this for several turns, you're starting to look almost mummified with the amount of bandages that are wrapped around you.
I guess I would probably yank some of them off.
Kag-Ro, given the barmaid took the hint from Cerise, you are in your death save. Please roll. You are stabilized. The next one will regain you consciousness. I guess Darius and Durnan are the only two conscious ones, so 1, 2 for Darius, 2, 3, 4 for Durnan, as it is the troll's turn.
Doesn't make a tough guy.
No.
And of course it goes for you.
Oh no. Yeah, both of those hit.
But
Take a nap.
Yeah, I'm down.
Nap time.
he's gonna do his second one on Durnan, given you're down.
Persana guide me. Blue!
That's not good. Oh no, it's not a critical. Okay. I know, but I was looking at the claw attack. If it wasn't a critical, it would have probably perma-killed him.
I can't drag Kag-Ro. So.
And with that, the troll is down. Durnan does the finishing blow, using the moment where the troll was kind of busy with its attack on Darius. Not letting him recover, he just takes the last of it down. Doing so, after he does so, he stabilizes both you and Kag-Ro, and with his medical abilities, brings you both back to 1 health.
I was gonna say, please tell me that Darius has more than 26 health, or more than 13 health.
No, unfortunately.
I don't think any of us would at level 1.
No, he's fine. He would have had to hit him for more than double. So he didn't insta-kill him.
Oh.
14 plus 11 is 25. If his health is less than 13.
Oh no, the second hit was to Durnan.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming it takes like him a second to do that so I can come out of the kitchen. Because I was gonna,
yes.
leave her and come back out to check on everybody.
As you do that, you're going to see some of the other patrons are going to start to scream that everything's okay, and it almost seems like it's not something that's been seen for the first time. You can easily tell the outsiders from the other ones. Cerise, being that you are the only one who didn't fall unconscious, as you walk out, can you please roll me a perception, please?
Alright. I'm on roll 20. Oh, there we go.
So you're able to really grasp the scene of what's happening. There's a very big dead troll there. Some of the adventurers are already kind of plucking little souvenirs at it. It almost seems like an entertainment scene. They're pulling like chunks of hair, bits of nail pieces, whatever odd, dirty, stinky cloth he was wearing. Not much for it other than that. And then they're starting to slowly but surely kind of push him back down the well. They're kind of using it almost as a monster trash can. They're doing that with the sturge bodies as well. You can see that the difference between the residents and the visitors, as the visitors are still kind of shook and in awe. Some of the adventurers are busy healing patrons because a few of them were also unconscious. And they're cleaning up the messes. The residents are just almost as if it's mechanical, just putting the tables back where they're supposed to be and such. Though close to the door, you'll notice several City Watch people. The reason they didn't get in further is because two groups, well, actually, one group and one person, there's a 6 in total, seem to have taken advantage of the distraction the troll caused to break into some kind of bar brawl. There's several people in leather outfits and cloaks. You've seen those uh, cloaks before, and but the hood's down, so you can see their face, and they're arguing with this Afhork lady. 3 of the cloaks have been apprehended by the City Watch, and the other ones are trying to kind of break the rest of the fight with the other 2. They're not yet at the point of fisticuffs, but they are um, just very viciously arguing. They're too far for you to hear what they're saying, so that they're just busy with this, and this is what has kept the City Watch occupied.
Oi! There's been people dying in here while you're dealing with these riffraff. She's gonna actually yell that at the City Watch.
This is such a strange place.
Are you actually marching to the City Watch to kind of basically give them like a mom lecture?
Indeed.
I missed it. Are we conscious?
Yes, you're regaining consciousness. Durnan is stabilizing both you and Darius. I missed that, Cerise. Are you actually marching to them?
Yeah, she's really gonna go up there and say that.
You'll see that the remaining guard that's not busy keeping the rest, like there's 2 guards left. One is going to go to you and try to calm you down, while the other one will apprehend one of the 4th, but the leader of the group is still very viciously arguing with the Afhork, and they're so close face to face. They look like they would be about to kiss. That wouldn't be pretty kiss. And they're very, very angry at one another. And the City Watch guard is coming in. We knew Durnan had it. No need to worry, miss. It's not uncommon here.
People dying isn't uncommon?
We thought it was just another brawl. We didn't come armed. And you can see very clearly they do not have weapons.
Oh, goodness. It was a huge troll and a whole pile of these little flying things that were trying to suck everybody dry. And succeeding at it.
And he starts.
Uh-oh. I'm not hearing
Or
it.
to-
Yeah, you cut out there for
They
me.
lost you.
He starts what?
to ask.
They can't hear you.
Oh, dear.
The details of you need push to talk. Sorry, my Discord seems to have crashed. But yeah, the guard proceeds to start to tell you, like where all the medical centers are, and what to do to get like blood donations, or if you need magical healing, he's gonna give you like the address and the directions to all the temple. And even if you're trying to talk, he's like talking over you. So he's kind of like giving you a weird, not a lecture, but almost like an expose.
He's like mansplaining, basically.
Basically.
Yes, yes, I know where the Temple of Yondalla is. and I take out my amulet I wear and flash him my, you know, silver cornucopia badge or whatever it is. Basically, my what the heck is it called? My what is it called? I just drew a complete blank. Your religious symbol?
Holy symbol.
Holy symbol. Thank you. Yes, that's what it's called.
Yes, though Yondalla won't heal you very well. Well, she can, but I would suggest, and he keeps on going on the Spires of Lethender, and he goes on a few more things. So
Can
not
take
only
that
is he
down.
mansplaining, but he's kind of downgrading your deity on top of that.
I know, right? I'm just like, she's just like staring at him like, you just didn't, you know? About to become a 3'6" ball of righteous indignation unless someone comes and stops me.
I might be too hurt to do anything.
Marla, you were in the kitchen. Do you step out at any point? And Kag-Ro, are you standing up from where you are as well? Because you and Darius are in bad condition. You all are.
I do walk out of the kitchen and I'm pulling off all of the excess bandages. Like, I'm imagining I have way more than what's needed for what's on my torso.
Absolutely. Like you had someone around your head, around your hands, around your feet.
But I'm also going to store the excess bandages in some sort of pocket somewhere because they will be useful later.
Oh, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah, let's add 3 instant of clean bandages in there. Some of the excess bandage would actually be in the right place, so they're soaked in blood would be unuseful.
Kag-Ro kind of grumbles and rolls over to see Darius, who I believe is right next to him, and... Did you kill it? Did you kill it? I'm sure you did, right? Yes, yes. You look very injured.
Oh.
It's dead now.
I don't remember, to be honest. I swung at it, and then there was this big green fist filling up my vision, and everything I sort of just woke up here.
Okay, then. Well, this is the story we're going to tell.
Yes?
And then he'll go, so, we were having drinks, and the fight broke out, and in all the chaos, we were struck by the troll, but yet we were not destroyed. We endured very well and were strong, and you were able to throw your sword with a mighty slash, and assist the person who killed them by doing so just before you fell down.
Oh, is that what happened? It's all a bit fuzzy.
Don't let him fool you.
Who's that? Cerise?
Glad all halflings look alike.
Half what?
Are you okay?
Oh, yes, I'm fine. I just need some water is all, and a chance to walk this off. And,
I'll wave at Durnan and see if he can get you some water.
You're bleeding a lot too, Marla. What happened to you? Did you try to stab the troll?
I did stab the troll.
So you killed the troll.
No.
Did you see that little thing explode? It was really neat. There was blood everywhere. I think I need to take a nap.
Oh, yes, a nap would do very well right now. Cerise. Cerise.
Cerise is in the background, still about to read the riot act to the city guard.
I know.
All three of you roll a
Yondalla,
perception,
feel
please.
well?
And what kind of person laughs at a troll?
I'm not laughing at a troll, little lass. It's just, this was entertainment. Still, I know Kag-Ro enough of the city to know he's no adventurers. It's fine in their ring. It's all clean cut. They have their predetermined move they use all the time, so it's not the big challenge. Not like a monster. For people who's been in one of the first fights, though, I hope that's the case, because else I have a different opinion. You did pretty well.
Well, we didn't die. That seems to be something. And he sort of stumbles up, still wobbling back and forth. Does my 19 catch anything with the perception?
Yeah, I'm just waiting on the last. I'm missing Marla's perception.
And that's a victory. Not die, that is.
Why, it is. Troll isn't something to be laughed at. In Sturges, 1 or 2 is not a problem. Swarm of them. There's close to a dozen. And with a 14 and 19, even with a 9, you can both spot Cerise. That's in an argument. 14 and 19, so Darius and Kag-Ro, you both see the brawl that's kind of happening behind her. And those two are about to get at each other's throats.
I guess Kag-Ro will say, "Oh, it seems there's something going on. Oh, all right, well, I'll be over there." And he'll just sort of kind of walk over, limping towards the direction of Cerise and this guard holding his wounds.
Oi, oi, oi. And Dernan's gonna pull from his pouch 3 red flasks and give you 1 each. Just drink that before you go there. And I'm putting that on your tab, bro. You owe me a big publicity session. Free. And he goes, you get the equivalent of a healing potion each.
Healing potion is 2d4, right?
Plus 2. 2d4 plus 2.
Oh, right.
Kag-Ro will chug that down and suddenly look a lot better and sort of stand up, and as his wounds start to close and the blood stops gouging. "Oh, I feel much better now. Well then, what's going on here?"
Kag-Ro, that's 7 for you that you regain, and Marla, that would be 6. You both missed your plus 2.
I know, I already had it. I have 1 health less than I should have.
As you approach, you'll hear the city guard just sigh loudly and then return his attention to Cerise. I didn't say he doesn't heal, I just said that it doesn't heal as well as the Great Lathander, who's in the Spires. That's the main healing hub of Waterdeep, you know. I'm sure for your little folks, the little deity works well.
Darius is going to get up and able to at least walk straight now. He'll start heading over towards Cerise in this argument alongside Kag-Ro. Yeah, he'll call out when he hears all this. Cerise, what's going on over here?
The city watch got all distracted with these riffraff having some sort of lovers' quarrel. In the meantime, everyone else needed actual help back. And now he's telling me that to get real healing, we need to go to the Temple of Lathander. And she rolls her eyes so hard.
Those surfacer guards, I assume. Anyway, they all pale in comparison to the builder guard.
Do I recognize the guard at all?
No, he's not one of yours.
Then Kag-Ro just smiles and, "Oh, hello, Jerry. You know, I was wondering what would happen. It's good to see you again. Oh, what's going on here?" And he's gonna act like he knows the guy completely. I asked him what's going on here. He's trying to distract him from.
You'll see the guard will turn to you. His compatriots are actually walking out. They're leaving the last of the riffraff to him, and they're dragging 4 prisoners with them. Yes, sorry, I don't mean to, but I seem to be offending. It's just a bar brawl, nothing to worry about. The City Watch has it under control. Though he seems to be clearly distracted by the two of you and is losing track of what's happening behind him, as the two of them are, at this point, kind of grabbing each other in some weird form of headlock, and they're kind of pushing on one another, trying to topple the other one over. People are starting to gather and watch the match. There's even some people kind of cheering for one or the other.
We recognize these. The guy she is sort of wrestling with here, right? He's one of the men from the pie shop, right? I thought I heard.
He does have a cloak, but it's not exactly like what you remember. There's several people walking around with a cloak, and so you don't think it's the same one.
Also, excuse me for just 1 second.
I think I will join them, and I'm gonna be noticeably loud and kind of ask everybody what's going on.
Alright, anyone with a passive perception of 13 and above, Marla, you'll automatically notice that. You're gonna notice that the man that's brawling with the Avhork lady, as they both kind of glance your way, she just scoffs. And the man just has a double take on your group, and seems to hesitate for a minute.
I guess if the guard's still here, Kag-Ro, I'll touch him on the shoulder and, "I think your friends are leaving. You might want to go with them." And he points to the guards that are walking away with the prisoners.
I'm gonna use your previous persuasion. Yes. Oh, yes, they're leaving. Oh, jeez, they went so fast. Alright, and he's gonna fast pace and completely forget the other two brawler. He passes by them. You'll just see him kind of do a quick wave in the air for Durnan, and Durnan will sigh and very slowly go put his greatsword under the counter, and he seems like he's about to be heading your way.
Guess he'll turn back to the rest of the people and the brawlers and be, "So, what's going on here then? Aside from insulting gods and wrestling and such, are we practicing for the Colosseum?"
Oh, not all practice. Not now, I hope.
"I'm feeling magnificent. That red juice was wonderful."
And you see the Avhork just kind of pushes the guy off of her. "I just don't like scum in a place where I like to go drink." And the man will be like, "Well, you owe me something."
I'm sure that it can pass. You don't want to be causing too much trouble here. After all, my friends and I just defeated a troll.
Cerise looks up at Kag-Ro like, what?
Of briberies and extortionists and so on and so forth.
Terrible, terrible thing. And I look at him and I look at her and I kind of sidle over, not too buddy-buddy, but clearly on his side. And I say, you know, maybe the two of us, or the three of us, can work something out and leave my friends out of this.
Roll a persuasion, please.
Can I re-roll that?
I think you have the lucky.
Oh dear, is my roll 20 dead? Because I didn't even see a roll.
Yeah, same.
Oh. I forgot to
Oh,
switch.
you're whispering them. That's okay. You must have toggled it by accident. But yeah, no. With a 6, it still wouldn't be sufficient.
Yeah, I
And
figured
you're
that.
gonna see him look your way. It's like, no. It's all right. And he taps his feet a little bit and does a little bit of a shift, like he's impatient. I'll take my leave this once. And he turns and leaves the bar, and you'll see that the half ogre just kind of gives him a growl and goes back to her seat.
Whoa, that was an exciting night. I think we should sleep.
Oh no.
Going to sleep so soon. It's only... what time is it again?
Answer his question, dear. Do whatever you want to do. Answer the question. What time is it in the game?
Oh, the time in the game, it was about 9:30 when all this started. It wouldn't have been that long. You'd be looking at maybe 10ish. It's still prime time for
Yeah, we didn't even get to eat
such a
our
night.
food.
And being upstairs, your table is not knocked over, so everything is still.
Are they still serving food?
Oh, we had all that food at our table.
Well, you can go and eat your food. I need to go speak with my publicist for some time. It wasn't exactly the most brightest light shined during that battle. I need to get him to do some crowd control, come up with some sort of story. Lest I will lose a lot of paying customers.
Well, you go and cover your income base then.
The
Okay.
character is embarrassed here.
I would actually like to go find this orc lady and yeah. But we're still like right next to her, right? Essentially, or did she go off?
She's just a few tables over.
Then I'm gonna say to everyone around, I'm going to go find out what was up with that cloaked individual. And,
All right.
yeah.
So you're gonna see, as Kag-Ro bids his leave, he's able to depart from the yawning portal out into Waterdeep. You head towards the aft work lady who's now sitting. People are kind of giving her a wide berth given what just happened. Most of the people are still gathering their wit and getting some healing done. Marla, which directions are you heading?
I think I'm gonna go up to the table and finish my drink, and then I will go do things later when people are not paying attention to us.
I'll cover that in a minute. I need to see which way Cerise is going when she returns. So Darius, as you're heading towards the Athwork lady, are you going to address her, or are you just kind of observing?
Yeah, I'll address her. I'll say, excuse me, miss. That's a bit of business with that cloaked fella there. Nasty lot that was it not?
Oh, yeah. I don't like these folks. I don't think the guards realize what they were dealing with.
But you do.
Yes, I mean, we see a lot of thugs around here. And she downs her drink kind of completely.
And let me get one thing straight, because I think I had to step up when it was mentioned, but he was with the Zentarum, right?
No, he was accusing her of being so.
Oh, okay. Changes my... what was this about him accusing you of being a Zentarum? I didn't... I must admit, I'm new to this city. I'm not exactly certain what that might be.
Trash.
An error. Drinks got to his head. Took me from somebody else. They see an Athwork and they think we're all the same.
You didn't know him then? Just a bigot who chose you to target.
Yes. Mistake me for somebody else, and I let my temper get the best of me.
Can I roll an insight check on that?
Yes, you can. She seems to be telling the truth and still be kind of dealing with remnants of anger, and she still looks kind of miffed.
Alright. Well, that's unfortunate now. What little time I've spent here, this city already seems to be rather full of such unpleasant individuals.
It's a big city. It's kind of normal.
Well. I simply was trying to see if I recognized the man himself as well. There were some nasty individuals hanging out around a friend of mine's shop.
You could roll a history, and Cerise, just quickly, Darius went to talk to the Athwork lady, and Marla went back to your table. Kag-Ro left because he had to go talk to his agent. Which way are you
Alright.
going?
I would have probably gone back to the table. I want some of that food.
So you're accompanying Marla. And with a history, you realize that that man that you saw was definitely not the same. Their cloak color was different and of a different cut as well. But you still can't help but see some level of similarity. You just can't put your finger on it.
I was simply afraid he might have been of the same, cut from the same cloth, or of the same organization at very least. Pardon my interruption. Enjoy your day.
She's just gonna nod her head and kind of raise your mug in your direction as a polite gesture. And then kind of wave down another bartender. But back to Marla and Cerise. When you get to your table, there's already a halfling there. He's kind of serving himself in your ale and food.
Excuse me?
Please roll a history, both of you.
I was about to wonder if we know this.
I do not.
Marla, you're busy with other things on your end, so you don't necessarily keep full track of basically Waterdeep's version of pop culture. And Cerise, however, with everyone who comes and talk whenever something is happening, you know this guy. This is Volothamp Gadarn. He's a chronicler, very famous author, explorer of many things. He's a celebrity of his own sort. And as he sees the both of you arrived, he takes a swig of mead, bite of bread, and smiles broadly, kind of gesturing to the empty chairs on the other side of the table.
Hello, sir. I see you're enjoying our mead. And I sit down. Also, I had no idea that Volo was a halfling. This whole time, I never knew.
He is.
Out of character, I mean. That explains why it's a ridiculous name. Yeah.
I will also sit down, but not in either of the chairs he gestured in, because you don't tell me what to do.
You're not the boss of me.
He doesn't seem
Also,
to
this is
mind
our
to that.
table.
And you don't even know who this guy is.
This is our table.
My good ladies, sit, come in and have a chat with old Volo. Don't worry about the food, I'll have something for you in no time. And next round's on me.
Oh, thank goodness. Well, at least myself, I can't imagine why Marla wouldn't as well have a terrible hunger after almost looking down the face.
I can buy my own food, thanks.
Why suit yourself? And I understand. Fighting a big monster, hey, always build an appetite, doesn't it? Where's the rest of your crew?
Well, a couple of our friends are busy talking to other people.
Hey, that's okay. I can do a little something on that. You're gonna see he's gonna like draw symbols in the air and mutter a little something. Both Kag-Ro, wherever you are at this point, if you went far or not, and Darius will receive a sending. So you get a little animal message that is sent your way.
Oh,
Actually, let me check. I think sending is telepathic.
Yeah, I think so.
right? Yeah,
You wouldn't be far enough, and he has like special things. So you both get a little message in a voice you don't recognize. Actually, Kag-Ro, you can roll a history because you're acquainted with celebrities. Anything above 12 would recognize the voice. And he is asking you to rejoin the rest of your group. He has a proposition.
well, I was heading that way anyway, I suppose. Although,
And as you're heading back there, he continues to the halfling ladies. And I must commend you, my dear. Your healing prowess was very impressive. Very, very impressive. A troll is no laughing matter. Almost ate one of my colleagues once. And he was the best pack mule I ever had. I was so sad that day.
Oh, a good pack animal is very hard to replace.
No, it wasn't an animal.
Oh, I misunderstood. I'm sorry.
But he did carry my bags.
Cerise is gonna kind of look over at Marla. That's very interesting. I have a goat carry my bags for me. Then the minute she says it, she gets kind of like... She kind of blushes a little bit and looks down at her plate. Like, maybe she shouldn't have said that.
And that's about when you can see Darius arrive around the balcony, and you see the girls are kind of talking with them. And a goat, you see, you say. Well, that's little luggage, but I've seen some pretty strong goats in my life. Some of them have muscles over their muscles.
Oh, goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't sound so incredulous, little lass. I've seen all sorts of things. You should read it in me book. It's coming up very soon. Volo's Guide to Monster, you heard of it?
Can't say that I have.
As you're answering in these offended tone and thick, coded words, he seems completely oblivious to any subtle messages.
It's fine. It's fine, dear. He'll come back. I already said he's going back.
Choking because you're laughing or choking because you're dying?
General dying, choking, yes. Sorry. Oh, dear.
And he's gonna look up to Darius as he's coming in. Come, young Triton. Join us. We have a proposition for all of you.
You
You're the
recognize
few
me.
who actually jumped in the fray. I recognize what you are.
It's good to finally meet someone out here who understands the importance of what we do.
You like the much better half than the merfolk in the sea. I find them a little... well, you can never tell what they'll do. You, on the other hand, have a very fine and proud lineage.
If he realizes he's being buttered up, Darius doesn't show that at all. He just sort of like beams with pride hearing this and says, "Oh well, yeah, we have quite a serious duty to attend to, my people. Of course, one must. There's no time for such wishy-washy attitudes as the sea elves do have. But if only more people up here realize. Anyway, this proposition you have.
Oh, well, I was hoping your friend would be here, your other one, but I can start right away. You see, I have Very lucrative offer, I might add. And he's gonna pull something from the deep pocket on one of his pants, and he kind of has to contort himself on the chair to do so. You start to hear clinking and clanking, and he drops 4 little brown pouches that clanks as they land on the table. I'm busy with a lot of promotional endeavors, so I don't have time to do the exploring myself. But I have a friend. His name's Floon. Vanished last night, and I need help to find him. I need brave folk, and not City Watch. They're not gonna be the right people to talk to.
Tell me about it. The City Watch are useless.
Right? They just... If it's anything outside of the very strict rule set they have, they won't do it.
Including
There's a lot
apparently.
in their rules.
It's not
Plus,
where it
you
matters.
may have to go outside the city, and it's outside of the City Watch zone. If it's outside the city, they won't even bother. And this is very important. This is a very close friend to me.
Well, I'm always willing to help those in need. What do you know of his disappearance exactly?
Oh, well, I'll tell you more of the story if you agree to find him. And I'm willing to pay each of you 15 gold. 15 dragons up front. And there's more where that comes from. I'll give you 50 dragons each. Once you return my friend.
Did you say 15 or 50?
Up front, he said 15.
And what was the price if we returned his friend safely?
I don't think he said yet.
Ah.
Yeah, he said 50 each. Oh, sorry, I misread my thing. 100 each. Let me change that a little.
Oh.
I can give you 100 dragons each.
Oh,
Oh my.
well,
Mm-hmm.
That's certainly a generous offer, but tell me, why would you ask us to do such a thing when, well, as I guess you have seen, we had a hard enough time defeating a troll.
Because you didn't hide under a table. At least not the whole time. And he seems to hold his stare at Cerise for a minute.
Cerise blushes again.
I didn't hesitate. And you're alive, aren't you? A troll, as I said, is no mere beginner's monster.
well, I can't speak for how well we did against it, but it is a good first step to attempt, I suppose. Though I don't know how well it translates into finding missing persons. I'm, of course, as I said, always willing to help.
Kag-Ro walks up the stairs and looks over to Volo. Oh, hello, Volo. What do we want? Volo thump. And then he's going to sit down and drink some of the mead that is on the table left.
Kag-Ro! Good match tonight. And he gives you kind of like a thumbs up. As I was telling you, friends, I need some help to find a friend. I think they've accepted. Our noble Triton here has. What was your name again?
Ah, Darius. Darius Aadinath.
Volo Gadarn, and he stands on the chair, extends a hand as if to shake it very, almost excitedly.
Oh, very eager, aren't you? It's a pleasure to meet you.
He'll take your hand, give it a good, quick shake, and then sit himself back down. But yes, your friend Darius had already accepted. I'm not sure about the two lass here, and he looks at both Cerise and Marla turn to turn.
I suppose it wouldn't harm anything to help.
But it would help. Yes?
Fine, but I get to keep anything I find on the way, as well as your payment.
Well, that is not up to me to decide, but if you wish. And then he turns to Cerise.
Well, I mean, I'm just a pie shop baker, but I suppose if my friends are going, then they could use the guidance and protection of Yondalla along with them.
It wasn't Baker's power that helped these folk heal a bit as things were progressing. We might have died without you. And what about you, Kag-Ro, who's just joined? Would you help an old author like me find a friend? A little quest, if you will.
I'll help you if you promise to stay out of here for a little while. My business always goes down whenever you're around, and the bartenders try to get me to pay for things. It's very difficult. It makes it very difficult with my paltry salary.
Oh, yes, and he'll chuckle a bit. It's like, I'll keep the place here when you're away, and when you arrive, I'll retire to my room. Plus, I can't sign very much, as my shipment of books is seeing just a little bit of delays. But yeah, here, each of you take one of these, and he splits the 4 pouches each your ways, and you'll find 15 gold in each that you can add to your inventory.
Oh, we're getting paid.
No. Well, I would ask for a favor, just for the likeness of old me, and he twirls one of his mustaches as he does so, kind of primping himself up, basking in his own little self-made limelight. And then keeps on adding, but I'm sure you all want to know a little bit more about what you're heading into now. You were already asking a moment ago. Now that you've accepted, I can add to that.
It would certainly be helpful in finding the location if you're missing combat. And perhaps avoiding going missing ourselves.
Kind of dipping into his author side, he starts the story almost like you would the beginning of the book. It was a dark, stormy night in Waterdeep. Me and Floon were having some fun times here at the Yawning Portal, but a brawl broke up, and we didn't want part of it. It was disruptive. So we went outside. The skies were beautiful. The maid's stars were in the sky over our heads. So we enjoyed the stroll, smells of roses and tulip in the air as we walked by. And he kind of adds on to like a scenery that lasts for a good 5 minutes to the point where it might lose a bit until he gets to the point. Then we decided to head into the dark ward, and find a place for a little bit more fun, a little merrymaking. So we headed to the Skewered Dragon. There we had a drinking contest. I won, of course. The mead was warm down my throat, but I kept on, lucid and brave. People cheered, of course, as I kept on drinking, and so did Floon. Once he gave out, I bid him a good night and walked home. He never made it back to the inn, as far as the tavern say. I haven't seen him since. Now, I'm not sure what someone would want with Floon, though he is one to be noticed. Young and handsome male, early 30s with wavy red blonde hair. He looks almost princely, noble, despite the fact that he is not. He's simply good at passing himself for such. Not illegal, of course. He just has the allure of it. I'm afraid something may have happened to him.
And the last time you saw him, he was gravely intoxicated, yes?
Gravely. Direly, even.
As the quiets down for a second, you can hear Kag-Ro go, "Usually no, it takes some time." And then he'll look up. "Yes, and when was the last place that you saw Flump or Floomp or Flop or whatever his name is?"
Floon. We saw him at where we took such merrymaking, the Skewered Dragon Inn.
You sure he didn't fall into the sewers?
Yes, I
I
did
hear
not want
there
to
are
do so.
people down there.
Those grates are usually covered.
"Usually, but it's always a possibility. So, from my understanding, your friend got very drunk, and then stumbled away and disappeared. Any signs or anything that we might be able to use rather than wandering around the city aimlessly looking around this skewered dragon?"
Sadly, no. That's all the clues I can muster to spare.
Does he have a residence here in the city?
Well, no, we had rented the rooms here for months at the Yawning Portal.
I see. And, was he well known then for wandering off? Could he have simply found himself somewhere that he wasn't, expecting, gotten lost?
He seems to think for a moment, and you can see his eyes kind of go up. No, absolutely not. He's quite a reliable fellow.
Hmm. And, one final thing. How long ago did you say he went missing?
This was 2 nights ago.
Darius will nod and say, well, I suppose it isn't much, but it might well be enough.
Well, I sure hope so. Well, on that, and he kind of stretches. I wish you all good luck. have any question, ask Dernan for which room I'm in. I'm staying here in one of the suites. But good night.
Of course you are.
Hopefully, hopefully we shall be returning to you with your friend or news of his whereabouts.
He's gonna give Kag-Ro a knowing smile at his comment and then turn to Darius and give a polite nod. I look forward to it. I'm sure you'll manage this, no problem. And gives you another thumbs up and turns around and kind of scampers off. You can see there's a bit of a sway in his walk, affected by the bit of mead he took from your table and possibly whatever was before.
He looks over to the others and he says, well, we're going to die, but at least we're going to die with style. And with that, I have to go.
We won't die.
Just do the thing.
And on that, with the mission given, and especially with our little one that just woke up, I will end tonight's game.
Uh-huh.
We will gather back as everyone kind of decides to do how they want to start this mission. I'm assuming everyone will be able to go on for having a little bit of rest for the night, go get some sleep, lick their wounds.
Indeed.
If there's anything that any of your character wants to do on their own beforehand, I can make an arrangement for that.
Alright, if I think of anything, I will let you know.